AITA for telling my daughter to stop blaming me for the way her son behaves. I have 2 daughters, Dina, 40, and Nicole, 34. Between them, I have 5 grandchildren. Dina has 2 kids, 13F and 11M, and Nicole has 3, 5F, 2M, and 3F. Both my daughters are married and have their homes. We all live close by. I am always helping out with my grandchildren. For 12 years, I watched Dina's kids while her and her DH worked. At this point, the kids are pretty independent and I watch them after school. I'm helping Nicole with all the childcare I can give her, the same as when Dina had young kids. Dina also has me take her daughter to her after-school activities, since I live close to Dina's house. Lately, Dina has been having a lot of issues with her son. He literally gives everyone a hard time, whether it's getting a shower, not wanting to eat, not following directions, and just being annoying. Best way to describe him is he's very lazy and just looking for an easy way out of everything. Well, Dina has a bunch of talks with him and tried all kinds of consequences, but nothing works. So she started blaming me as the reason he is like that. Since I don't make him do anything, spoil him, or still do stuff he can do on his own. For example, when I'm watching the kids, I make them a snack, and instead of cleaning up the area he ate at, he tries to leave it there for me. One day, he pushed my buttons, and I yelled at him to stop being so lazy and to clean up, which he did. Later, when Dina found out I yelled at him, she gave me an ultimatum to stop yelling at him, or I don't watch the kids. Another example was one time we went out to dinner and dessert with the kids, and Dina made a rule where the kids had to eat all their dinner before getting dessert. Her son ate very slowly, and we took away the dessert. I didn't take any dessert, and I'm diabetic and can't eat, but the son managed to get me to buy another ice cream to try, and he ate the whole thing before giving it back to me. Dina got mad at me when she found out. We've had a lot of these situations. Most recently, during a family dinner, he was being a pest by throwing his sister's Crocs on the other side of the pool while she was yelling at him to stop touching her stuff. Dina got annoyed and started disciplining him on the patio in front of everyone. My 13-year-old granddaughter was teasing her cousin about it, and Dina screamed at her daughter to go inside the house and started yelling at her to not embarrass her brother in front of everyone, like she was doing. I tried talking to Dina not to be so hard on the kids, especially her son. It seems like that backfired on me. Later on, I was talking to my husband and told him my frustration. He told me to be more relaxed with my grandkids. But what can I do when Dina relies on me and blames me for his behavior? In the meantime, she was a helicopter mom to my 11-year-old grandson, and he's acting that way toward me. Edit. After asking my 11-year-old grandson who he prefers to watch him, me or the other grandma, he said the other grandma because she doesn't have so many rules and restrictions. My DH was there and told my grandson he should prefer to stay with me because it has lots of benefits and tried to explain. However, 11-year-old was not impressed and kept his opinion. Next story. AITA for telling my daughter's teacher that she wasn't allowed to assign her detention, forcing her to apologize. My daughter, 10, told me and my husband that she was assigned detention for the next week because she hasn't apologized to a classmate. When I told her that that wasn't enough information, she explained that a girl she doesn't speak to, unless the girl is randomly speaking to her or playing with the same group of people, fell and said she accidentally caused her to fall and she didn't apologize to her. I wanted to speak to her teacher the next day, so I went to pick her up at school when she was being held over for detention. I talked to her about the situation, and she told me that the girl basically told her, she told my daughter she needed the equipment she was playing on, and she told her she would be taking turns with the group of kids she was already playing with. And she tried pulling her down from the monkey bars in the middle of her turn, but lost balance before she could. She insisted that my daughter needed to apologize for being so selfish about equipment that she didn't own, and that as someone who accidentally injured A, she needed to make some compromises, and that she already considered it and explained my daughter's actions to her. I told her that my daughter isn't allowed to serve any punishment in relation for this, and that she needed to lift detention on my daughter immediately. She told me that this is the way her classroom is run, and she is right to be teaching understanding and civility in this matter. I told her, at least at the end of the day, my daughter will be going back to a home of a defensive person like me, who is lucky she hasn't called her names. She told me that was unnecessary and didn't expect this response from me, but she will dismiss her. Next story. AITA for saying I don't care and it's not my problem. What his parents' travel plans are. My boyfriend's friend is getting married. I was not invited to the wedding. Invitations were sent out in July. Not an issue since I didn't expect to be invited. We've been dating for about a year and a half. I've spent multiple nights at his home on many occasions. We've gone on multiple holidays together. We've been exclusive for over 8 months. He's met all my friends. In early August, my boyfriend wanted me to travel down to the wedding. It's a small wedding outside a 1-hour radius of our city. He says his parents are flying in from out of town and want me to go out for lunch with them and dinner with them, and they want to spend all Sunday with me, which is the day after the wedding. So, a brief intro, then a full day of entertaining them while he's at the wedding. He also brought up that I might stay with them in a 2-bedroom Airbnb for 1 night or 2. So I asked him if he asked his friend since he didn't get a +1. He acknowledged he doesn't get to bring me, but he's going to ask him right before the wedding if I could come to the ceremony or the reception. Whatever he can try to bring me to. So I'll know, potentially last minute, whether or not I'll go to a cute wedding ceremony at a big park, or a fun reception with loads of finger food to snack on, or neither. He says I could find my own accommodations if I chose to. He also said I could finally meet his parents either by spending all weekend with them, or I can find my own accommodation if it's awkward, and we all just convene for a full day of fun activities and meals. So I told him it's not my problem, nor do I care what his parents' expectations are. They didn't reach out to me, and I don't care about their travel plans. It's his problem. If his parents are expecting an itinerary, because I didn't know about any of this, and if I get a last-minute invite to either part of the wedding, I'm not going to go, since I feel like a backup choice that he's going to confirm right before the wedding with his friend. I have felt neglected, and not important enough to be introduced to his family. Then, the moment there is usefulness in meeting me, they suddenly expect me to travel with him, possibly attend the wedding with him, stay with them in the same Airbnb, and definitely meet them for 2 full days of entertaining them. Then maybe I'll get to meet his friend group at the wedding. He says I'm being unnecessarily angry, as it's normal to meet parents eventually, and if I wanted to meet his whole parent and family group, I can wait until his sister's wedding next year. Next story.